Welcome back to Horoscope TV. Um, Imagine walking into a room on Thursday and feeling like everyone is secretly judging you.
Oh, that is the worst feeling.
Right. But then you walk into that exact same room on Saturday and you are treated like, well, literal royalty.
A total 180.
Exactly. What changes in 48 hours? Well, if you are a Leo, everything changes.
Literally everything.
So this episode is dedicated entirely to you, our Leo listeners, for the week of June 8th to June 14th, 2026.
You are definitely going to want to tune in closely to this one.
Yeah, because this week is a massive roller coaster. We are looking at a 7-day stretch that starts with you navigating hidden secrets and some incredibly frustrating delays.
The kind that really tests your patience.
Yes, exactly. Testing every ounce of it. But the payoff is huge. By the time the weekend hits, the astrological charts show you stepping into a level of power and magnetism and just like luck that will make you feel majestic.
It really is an astonishing progression. I mean, when we analyze the astro data for this week, it's wild.
So what's our mission today, really?
Our focus today is to break down exactly how these shifting planets are going to completely rewrite your luck, your love life, and your career over these 7 days.
And we're doing this just by looking at the charts, right?
We are going to look at the geometry of the sky, the angles these planets are making, and how they translate into your everyday life. There's this massive theme of contrast here.
Like day and night.
Yeah, like moving from the shadows into the absolute brightest possible spotlight, and knowing exactly when that shift happens is going to give you, the listener, a tremendous advantage.
I love that. So let us establish the general vibe of the week first, because the entire week feels to me like a chrysalis process.
Ooh, a chrysalis. I like that analogy.
Yeah, you start the week wrapping yourself up and you end it just breaking out. Right
Yeah.
now, your ruling planet, the sun, is traveling through Gemini.
Which is very specific energy.
Right, very specific. That means you are dealing with this chatty vibe before things take a dramatic turn on June 10th.
Right, that's when the sun forms a tricky opposition to Lilith.
Yeah, which brings out a rebellious spark, maybe even causing like a silly argument with a close friend.
Definitely.
But then the atmosphere completely flips on June 13 when Venus enters your sign. That is the moment the royal energy hits.
It's a huge moment.
So to lay the foundation, let's break down this starting point. Since you, our listeners, already know your Leo fire needs fuel, what actually happens when it hits Gemini energy?
Well, to understand that, we have to analyze how the elements in the astrological charts interact with each other.
Like fire and air and all that.
Exactly. As a Leo, you are fixed fire.
Hmm.
Fixed means you are steady, you're consistent, and you hold your ground.
No easily swayed.
Right. And fire means you radiate warmth, you want to be seen, and you have, a natural dramatic flair.
We all love our Leos for that drama.
We do. Now, Gemini, on the other hand, is mutable air.
Mutable, meaning like changing.
Yeah, changeable, quick, adaptable. Air represents the mind, communication, and social interaction. So imagine a steady, roaring campfire. That is you.
Okay, I'm a campfire.
Now, imagine a swirling, fast-moving gust of wind blowing directly into that fire. That is Gemini.
Oh, wow. So it just flares up.
Right. The fire does not just get hotter, it dances, it sparks, it spreads in a dozen different directions.
So it scatters the focus, but it really increases the energy. Like your thoughts are moving way faster than your mouth can keep up.
Exactly. When your ruling planet moves through this kind of air sign, it provides an incredible amount of oxygen to your natural fire.
So you're just like super social.
Very. You are going to feel intensely curious about everything and everyone. You won't want to sit at home in silence.
No quiet nights in right now?
Not at all. You will find yourself striking up a conversation with the person standing next to you in the coffee shop line, or suddenly sending a 5-minute rapid-fire voice message to a friend about a random idea you just had.
I've definitely received those voice notes.
Right. Your mind is buzzing.
Yeah.
You want an audience, and you want to bounce your bright ideas off of other people.
But, okay, that buzzing energy hits a massive wall on June 10th. The astro data points to this Sun and Lilith opposition.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
If I am vibrating with all this chatty, outgoing energy, an opposition sounds like a sudden roadblock. What is Lilith bringing to the table here that causes such a sudden urge to, well, rebel?
So Lilith is one of the most fascinating points in astrology, without getting too lost in the weeds.
Keep it simple for us.
Right. Lilith essentially represents our shadow self, specifically our raw, unfiltered wild side.
the part we try to hide.
or the part that just refuses to be tamed, controlled, or told what to do. It is pride in its most primal form.
Ah, and Leos have a lot of pride.
Exactly. Now, an opposition in the astrological charts means that two celestial bodies are sitting exactly 180 degrees apart in the sky.
So they're staring each other down.
Yes, from opposite sides of the room. It creates a literal tug of war.
So you have the sun, which is your core identity, pulling in one direction, and Lilith, your untamed pride, pulling in the exact opposite direction.
Precisely. You have this light, fun, communicative Gemini energy making you want to connect. But because of Lilith's influence across the sky, you are suddenly hypersensitive to how people are responding to you.
Oh, I see. So the tug of war creates a feeling of being, like, restricted or misunderstood.
Yeah, you might share an idea and a friend might give a slightly distracted response. Normally you would brush it off.
Like, whatever, they're busy.
Right. But with Lilith pulling on the sun, your wild side takes over. You feel insulted. You feel like they are trying to put you in a box or dismiss your light.
Wow.
And because Lilith is raw, your reaction is going to be wildly disproportionate to the actual event.
That paints a very clear picture. It's like you are the life of the party, you are holding court, and then suddenly you trip over the DJ's speaker cord.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
The music stops, you feel embarrassed, and instead of just laughing it off, you snap at your friend for standing too close to you.
Exactly. It is a completely misplaced reaction driven by wounded pride.
But looking at the timeline, June 13 is just 3 days later. Why is it so critical to swallow that pride and just, bite your tongue on June 10?
Because you do not want to set fire to your own castle right before you are handed the keys.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The friction on June 10th is an illusion. It is just planetary geometry playing tricks on your ego.
Mm-hmm.
If you give in to Lilith and start a massive fight over, say, a misunderstood text message or a disagreement about where to get dinner.
Which happens all the time.
Right. If you do that, you create a very real mess. And on June 13, the astrological weather changes completely. Venus, the planet of harmony, attraction, and aesthetic beauty, physically enters your sign.
The glow up.
The ultimate glow up. When Venus is in Leo, it acts like a massive warm spotlight shining directly on you. Your personal magnetism skyrockets.
And you're going to want people around to see that.
Exactly. You want your friends around to celebrate that. You want people there to bask in your warmth. You do not want to spend the most magnetic day of your month apologizing for a temper tantrum you threw on Wednesday.
That makes the stakes very clear. Keep your ego in check on Wednesday so you have a loyal court by Saturday.
Right.
Let us carry that idea of the chrysalis, the hidden buildup to the big reveal, into your love life. Because the charts show this romantic week starting in the shadows, too.
It really does.
On June 9, Venus and Jupiter form a conjunction in your 12th house, which is a very private zone.
Very private.
Then on June 13, before Venus enters your sign to give you that royal glow, it forms a difficult square to Chiron.
Yeah, that's a tough transit.
The charts indicate a wave of sudden insecurity. And finally, Venus moves into Leo, making you the most magnetic person in the room. Analyze the mechanics of that 12th house conjunction first. Like, what does a hidden romantic moment actually look like?
Well, the 12th house is essentially the basement of your astrological chart.
The basement.
Yeah. It is the room with the door closed and the curtains drawn. It rules isolation, solitude, things that happen away from the public eye, and deep subconscious feelings.
Okay, so very behind the scenes.
Right. Now, conjunction happens when two planets occupy the exact same degree in the sky. They are standing shoulder to shoulder, blending their energies together. On June 9, you have Venus, the planet of love and affection, standing right next to Jupiter.
And Jupiter makes things bigger, right?
Yes. Jupiter is the great expander. Whatever it touches, it makes bigger.
So you have a massive expansion of romantic energy, but it is locked in the basement.
Exactly. This is not the day to launch a grand romantic gesture in front of a crowd, and it is definitely not the day to post a new relationship on social media.
Keep it off the timeline.
Keep it off the timeline. The energy is intense, but it is highly private. In everyday life, this manifests as a secret crush that you are nursing quietly, or perhaps staying up until 3 in the morning having a deeply vulnerable, whispered conversation with your partner in the dark.
Oh, I love that. Just really intimate.
Yes. It is cooking dinner together with your phones turned completely off. The love is expanding, but it is for your eyes only. It is the definition of the chrysalis phase. You are wrapped up tight, experiencing profound growth where nobody else can see it.
And then we reach June 13, and the chrysalis breaks open. But it's not exactly a smooth process.
No, not at all.
Before Venus moves out of the hidden 12th house and bursts into your visible first house, it hits a square with Chiron. Now, a square is a 90-degree angle, which always creates friction, right?
Yes, squares always mean tension.
So explain Chiron's role here. If I am about to step into my most attractive royal self, why is the universe throwing insecurity at me right before the curtain rises? Is it just a fear of the spotlight?
That's a great way to look at it. Chiron is known in astrological charts as the wounded healer. It represents our deepest vulnerabilities, the ancient insecurities that we carry around with us.
The stuff that really hits a nerve?
Exactly. Yeah. When Venus moves into a 90-degree square with Chiron, it is like two cars arriving at an intersection at the exact same time from different directions,
Yeah.
and neither wants to yield,
Oh, so a crash.
or at least a very stressful standstill. Venus is trying to push you forward into the spotlight of love and beauty, but Chiron steps on the brakes and forces you to look at your wounds. It literally triggers your fear of not being good enough.
It sounds exactly like a theater play. June 9 is the private rehearsal backstage.
Yeah.
You know the play, you know you're blocking, but the moment before you step onto the stage on Saturday, Chiron whispers in your ear that your costume looks terrible and you are going to forget your lines.
That is the perfect way to describe a square to Chiron. It is pure stage fright. You might wake up on the morning of June 13, look in the mirror, and suddenly feel like your outfit is entirely wrong.
Even though it's the exact same outfit you loved yesterday.
Yes. Or you might look at a text from someone you were dating and second guess if they actually care about you. It is a sudden, sharp drop in self-worth. But it is vital to understand that this is just a planetary test. It is a toll booth you have to pass through before you reach your destination.
A toll booth.
Mhm.
So how does a Leo actually navigate that toll booth without turning the car around and just going back to bed? Because I know I'd want to hide under the covers.
Yeah, the instinct to hide is strong, but you navigate it by using your mind to override the emotion. When that wave of insecurity hits, you have to look at it objectively and say, this is not real, this is just the Chiron square.
You just have to call it out.
Exactly. Acknowledge the stage fright. Because the beautiful part of this transit is how fast it moves. A few hours later, Venus completes its journey and officially enters Leo. The square breaks.
And the chrysalis falls away.
Yes. You will walk out the door, someone will compliment your smile, or you will notice someone admiring you from across the street, and all of that Chiron insecurity will instantly evaporate. You will step fully into the spotlight, and your passion will become entirely visible to the world.
It's a trial by fire. You have to earn the crown by staring down your own insecurities first.
Well said.
And, walking around with that kind of heavy magnetic energy, carrying the attention of a room, that takes a physical toll. You need fuel to burn if you are going to be a roaring fire by Saturn.
Oh, absolutely. It's exhausting.
So let us look at the health and wellness charts, because they mirror this exact same pattern of rest and explosion. Early in the week, the planets are sitting in your zone of sleep, practically demanding that you take naps.
Freako naps.
Right. But then, on June 9, the moon enters Aries, giving you a sudden spark of physical energy. Then, by June 13, Venus arriving in your sign boosts your overall vitality, making you focus on aesthetics and self-care.
The glow-up continues.
Exactly. But break down this early week drain first. Why is the body demanding so much sleep while the mind is buzzing with that Gemini air energy?
It is the ultimate mind-body disconnect, and it traces right back to that 12th house energy we just discussed. While your conscious mind is awake and wanting to chat because of the sun in Gemini, your physical body is heavily influenced by the planetary traffic in your chart zone of retreat and healing.
So your body's just saying no.
Right. Your body knows that a massive energetic shift is coming on June 13. Being the center of attention requires an enormous amount of physical stamina.
It does. It takes work to be fabulous.
It really does. You cannot radiate warmth and magnetism if your internal battery is hovering at 5%. The astro data is telling your body to power down and store energy.
It's like keeping your phone plugged into the charger. You know you were going to be running a bunch of heavy apps later in the week. The social apps, the camera, the location services.
That's a great comparison.
Right, because if you do not leave it on the charger on Monday and Tuesday, it is going to die by Thursday afternoon. But here is where the charts seem to contradict themselves.
Okay, how so?
On June 9, while you were supposed to be resting, the moon enters Aries. Aries is a fire sign known for fast, aggressive action. How does Leo balance the sudden urge to, run outside with the need for naps?
You balance it by listening to the very specific sharp cues your body gives you. The moon governs our immediate emotional and physical responses. When it enters Aries, it acts like a sudden spark plug in an engine.
Okay, a spark plug.
Yeah, and because you are a fire sign, Aries energy resonates perfectly with your muscles. So you might spend the entire morning on June 9 feeling sluggish, taking it easy, perhaps even taking a guilt-free afternoon nap.
Which we love.
We do. But suddenly at 5 o'clock, the moon's position shifts just enough to trigger that Aries fire. You will feel a sudden rush of adrenaline. Your legs will literally want to move.
So you do not fight the sleep, but when the spark plug fires, you do not ignore that either.
Correct. When that burst hits, use it immediately. Go for a fast, intense run outside, do a quick, sweaty, heavy lifting session. Burn off that highly concentrated Aries fire.
Don't just sit on the couch and vibrate.
Exactly. But do not try to spread it out over a 3-hour marathon workout either. It is a sprint. Once the adrenaline burns off, go right back to resting. You are doing targeted energy bursts. Because the ultimate goal of all this resting and sprinting is June 13.
Right, Saturday.
Yes. When Venus enters Leo, it brings a massive wave of physical vitality and a deep desire to focus on aesthetics.
Well, Venus rules beauty, right? So it makes total sense that when the planet of beauty enters your own sign, you suddenly want to upgrade your look.
Exactly. You are going to wake up feeling physically lighter, healthier, and more vibrant. This is the day to treat yourself. Book the massage, do the elaborate skincare routine, or go shopping for clothes that make you feel powerful.
Just really update that wardrobe.
Yes. By the time this week is over, the charts show you glowing from the inside out, perfectly rested and physically primed to be the center of attention.
And with Leo feeling vibrant, rested, and glowing, that physical glow translates directly into massive ambition in the workplace.
Oh, absolutely. The career charts are wild this week.
I know, the career charts for this week are arguably the most exciting part of the entire forecast. Mars is sitting in Taurus, right at the top of your chart, driving incredible ambition.
Huge ambition.
On June 11, the moon joins Taurus, emotionally investing you in your professional goals and making you ready to take charge. But the headline event is on June 13th, when your career zone is wrapped in a benefic enclosure, bringing you a bubble of pure good luck and praise from bosses.
It's an incredible alignment.
But there is a massive warning about burnout. Let us start with the mechanics of this benefic enclosure, though. Explain that in plain, everyday words. What does it actually mean to have your career zone fenced in by planets?
A benefic enclosure is one of the most protective and fortunate alignments you can possibly have in an astrological chart. In traditional astrology, the planets are categorized by the type of energy they bring. Venus and Jupiter are the two benefics.
Meaning they're the good guys.
Right. They are the planets of luck, expansion, ease, and reward. An enclosure happens when a specific area of your chart, in this case, your career zone, is physically sandwiched right between these two lucky planets in the sky.
So if we imagine your career zone as a physical office building, Jupiter is standing guard at the front door, and Venus is standing guard at the back door.
That is exactly right. They act as a highly effective filter. Because they are benefic planets, they act like a shield of good luck, blocking negative, stressful, or harmful energy from entering your professional space.
So like unfair criticism from a coworker.
It bounces right off Jupiter's shield, a project that was supposed to fail. Venus catches it and smooths it out. And meanwhile, any positive energy, praise, or luck is trapped inside that enclosure with you, bouncing around and multiplying.
It is like having a magical VIP bodyguard at the office that deflects criticism and only lets praise through. And inside that protected building, you have Mars and the moon working together. Mars is the planet of action, right? And Taurus is an earth sign, which is usually steady. It is the bull pulling the heavy cart. Mars in Taurus means you have the endurance to just put your head down and plow through any amount of work.
Yeah, and when the moon enters Taurus on June 11th, it brings your emotions into the mix. The moon dictates what you need to feel secure. When it hits your career zone, professional success is no longer just a goal, it becomes an emotional necessity.
So you really care about it.
Deeply. You will walk into work on June 11th feeling a deep, instinctual drive to take charge. If there is a massive, terrifying project that everyone else is avoiding, you are going to raise your hand to lead the big meeting. You have the Mars endurance to do the heavy lifting, and the moon is giving you the emotional courage to claim it.
And because of that benefic enclosure, your hard work is guaranteed to be noticed. The charts show high praise, perhaps a glowing email from an executive on June 13, and a massive boost to your shining public reputation.
It really is a powerhouse day for stepping up at work.
Okay, but I have a question. With all this ambition and good luck, what are the actual warning signs of burning out that Leo needs to watch out for? Because shouldn't the bodyguards make everything easy? What are the actual mechanics of burnout here?
The danger lies entirely within that Taurus energy. Remember, Taurus is fixed earth. It is a boulder. Once you get a boulder rolling down a hill, it is nearly impossible to stop,
It just crushes everything in its path.
including yourself. Mars in Taurus gives you incredible endurance, but it also gives you tunnel vision and intense stubbornness. You might start a project and become so fixated on doing it your exact way that you refuse to delegate, you refuse to ask for help, you work through your lunch break, and then you stay 3 hours late.
Oh, I see. So the burnout isn't coming from outside pressure. It is entirely self-inflicted because you literally do not know how to drop the plow.
Exactly. The bodyguards are protecting you from external failure, but they cannot protect you from your own stubbornness. The warning signs will show up physically first.
Like,
Taurus rules the neck and shoulders. If you are sitting at your desk and you feel a tight, knotting ache in your neck, or if you catch yourself snapping at a coworker because they suggested a slightly different way to format a spreadsheet, that is your alarm bell.
take a breath, step away from the keyboard.
Yes, you have to step back. You have to consciously remind yourself that the benefic enclosure is working. You do not have to force the success by breaking your own back. You just have to guide the project and let the lucky planets do the heavy lifting.
Work smart, not just relentlessly hard. Now, usually when you are crushing it at work and getting praise from the boss, your mind naturally drifts toward your paycheck.
Always.
Which leads perfectly into analyzing this week's trickle financial charts because they require a completely different strategy. We start on June 8th with a last quarter moon in Pisces, which is great for paying off debts. But on June 10th, Mercury squares strict Saturn, causing major delays and frustrating bank chats.
That's a real headache.
Finally, on June 13th, the moon enters Gemini, making you want to spend recklessly on socializing or gadgets. But you need to keep a reasonable budget.
Yeah, you really do.
Let us look at the Mercury and Saturn square on Wednesday first. Explain the geometry here. Why does a 90-degree angle between these two specific planets cause a traffic jam at the bank?
To understand the friction, you have to look at the completely opposite natures of these two planets. Mercury is the messenger. It rules commerce, fast communication, digital transfers, and the quick exchange of information. It wants to move at lightning speed.
Right.
Saturn, on the other hand, is the planet of boundaries, time, restriction, and authority. It is the heaviest, strictest energy in the chart. When Mercury and Saturn form a square, that 90-degree intersection we talked about earlier, it is a violent clash of speeds. Mercury is driving a sports car at 100 miles an hour, and Saturn drops a solid brick wall right in the middle of the intersection.
So any financial move you try to make on June 10th is going to slam into that wall.
Precisely. You might try to transfer funds between accounts, and the banking app crashes for maintenance. You might be waiting on a client to pay an invoice, and they suddenly go silent.
Or dealing with an annoying customer service call.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
If you have to call customer service about a late deposit, you're going to be put on hold for an hour, only to be transferred to someone who tells you it will take 3 to 5 business days to resolve. Saturn is forcing you to slow down. It is the strict teacher saying, no, check your work again. Read the fine print.
So you really must read financial documents carefully.
Yes. If you are signing any financial documents around June 10th, you must read every single line because Saturn will punish carelessness. The block is temporary, but it is real.
It is incredibly frustrating, especially when you look at how the week started. Like doing financial spring cleaning on June 8th. You have that Pisces moon, so you sit down, you cancel that streaming service you never watch. Right, you pay off a small credit card balance, and you feel so responsible. You pull up the rug, sweep out the dust, and your financial house looks clean. And then Wednesday hits, and you hit a traffic jam at the bank. It's like finding a massive, stubborn stain under the floorboards that just will not come out, no matter how hard you scrub. It is maddening.
It really is.
Which makes Saturday so dangerous, because by June 13th, the moon is in Gemini, and you are feeling so majestic from Venus that you just want to buy a whole new, wildly expensive rug to cover up the stain.
The temptation is going to be
I
huge.
think the urge to spend is huge.
Yeah.
You're going to want to buy a flashy new phone or throw money out the window at a party. But wait, let me push back on this for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
If the charts are telling me that Leo is feeling like absolute royalty on June 13, isn't it really hard to tell them to stick to a budget? I mean, my impulse is going to be to buy the whole bar a round of drinks. How do they enjoy the royal vibe without emptying their wallet?
It is a profound test of maturity, which is exactly why Saturn set up that roadblock a few days earlier. When the moon is in Gemini, it craves variety, excitement, and movement. It wants to socialize. Combine that with Venus in your own sign, giving you massive confidence and a desire to be generous, and the urge to open your wallet is going to be overwhelming.
It's like money burns a hole in your pocket.
Exactly. You're going to see a flashy new gadget or a beautiful piece of clothing and think, I am royalty, I deserve this. And you do deserve beautiful things. But you have to outsmart the charts here. You cannot let the Gemini moon manipulate your generous Leo heart.
So how do you project that royal energy without emptying your bank account?
By redefining what royalty actually means in this context. The true power of Venus in Leo is not about your purchasing power. It is about your presence. People are drawn to your warmth, your confidence, and your light on June 13, not your credit card limit.
Oh, that's a great point.
Right. If you feel the intense urge to splurge, channel it strategically. Buy one incredibly high-quality coffee for yourself instead of picking up a $200 dinner tab for 8 acquaintances. Lean into the Gemini moon by engaging in brilliant, witty conversations which cost absolutely nothing.
And if you forget, just remember the headache from Wednesday.
Exactly. If you find yourself reaching for your wallet to impress someone, remember the stress of the Saturn roadblock on Wednesday. That memory should be enough to keep your budget intact. Enjoy the attention, but remember that true magnetism cannot be bought.
That is a brilliant distinction. Magnetism is a state of being, not a transaction. And to figure out who Leo should be buying those drinks for and who they should avoid entirely, let's transition to the final section, the ultimate guide for interpersonal matches and lucky details.
This is crucial information for this week.
Yes. So the charts provide a very clear ultimate guide. Your absolute best match for this week is Sagittarius. Your worst match is Scorpio. Your best dates for making plans are June 9 and June 13. Your lucky numbers are 1, 19, 28, 37, 45, and 54, and your color of the week is gold.
Let's unpack that, starting with Sagittarius.
Yeah, let us analyze these elemental matchups. Why is Sagittarius the ultimate co-pilot for a Leo right now?
It comes down to the harmonious blending of elements. Both you and Sagittarius are fire signs. They share your passion.
Sure.
But while you are fixed fire, steady, unmoving, holding down the center, Sagittarius is mutable fire.
So they move around a lot more.
They move the heat around. They're the explorers, the adventurers, the ones constantly seeking new horizons and encouraging bold dreams. When Venus enters your sign on June 13, you are radiating a desire for grand, passionate experiences.
Yeah.
Sagittarius perfectly matches that Venus and Leo vibe. They naturally vibrate on that exact same frequency. They do not want to sit still either.
So it's just pure synergy.
Furthermore, when the moon enters Aries on June 9, which is the third fire sign, it creates a beautifully active, fiery triangle in the sky.
It is like they're feeding oxygen directly into your flames without trying to steal your warmth. It's like comparing Sagittarius to the ultimate hype man and co-pilot for a road trip. If you have a completely unhinged, bold dream this week, a Sagittarius is the person who will pack a bag and say, let's drive there right now.
Yes, they make you feel unstoppable.
But then we look at the other side of the spectrum, Scorpio. The charts point to Scorpio as a disastrous match for you this week. Scorpio is a water sign, but it's fixed water. Fixed fire meets fixed water. That sounds like a recipe for a very loud, very steamy explosion.
Steamy and not in a good way.
Right. Why does Scorpio's specific, shadowy, secretive nature feel so restrictive to Leo right now?
Because your fundamental needs are moving in completely opposite directions. Fixed water is like a deep, dark, unmoving well. Scorpios operate in the shadows. They deal with secrets, intense psychological dynamics, and unspoken power plays.
Very heavy stuff.
Very heavy. You are ruled by the sun. You need things out in the open, bathed in bright, warm light. You thrive on clear communication and open expression. Right now, your energy is trying to soar into the sky and be seen by everyone. Scorpio's instinct is to drag you down to the bottom of the well to see what you are hiding in the dark.
It's like they're a flat tire trying to keep you parked in a dark garage.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely exhausting, especially during the middle of the week.
Oh, it gets worse on Wednesday.
Let us combine this with the money charts we just talked about. If I have that frustrating Mercury and Saturn square happening on June 10th, causing communication roadblocks, and I have to deal with the Scorpio, how bad does that get?
It will feel like pulling teeth out of a brick wall.
Yikes.
On June 10th, you're going to ask a Scorpio for a direct answer to a simple question. Because of the Saturn square, they're going to offer mysterious silence or answer your question with another question.
Which is going to drive a Leo crazy.
Completely crazy. You will offer them your natural Leo warmth, and they will look at you with deep suspicion, assuming you have an ulterior motive. Their secretive nature clashes so hard with your open expression. It will feel incredibly heavy, like an anchor trying to stop your momentum. By the time you reach your royal stride on Saturday, you will have absolutely zero patience for their complex mind games. They might even try to manipulate your generous spirit. Stay away from their dark moods.
That brings up a massive question, though. We do not always get to choose who we interact with. If Leo has to work with a Scorpio this week, especially around that difficult June 10 date, what is the best strategy to protect their energy without causing a massive blowup?
You protect your energy by becoming a mirror of Saturn. Keep the interactions strictly professional, incredibly brief, and boundaried.
Just keep it strictly business.
Exactly. Do not try to win them over with your sunny charm. They will just distrust it. Do not attempt to read between the lines of their mysterious silence. State the facts, present your work, ask for exactly what you need in writing, and gracefully exit the conversation. Preserve your precious fire for the weekend and spend it on the people who actually want to see you shine.
Keep the interactions brief and save your warmth for the people who appreciate the light. And to help attract those positive interactions, leaning into your lucky details is key. Telling the listener to wear gold this week is not just an aesthetic choice. It aligns perfectly with your ruling sun and that majestic Venus energy arriving on Saturday to attract that June 13 look.
Gold is your absolute power color right now.
And if you are navigating a tricky decision, picking a date for a meeting, or playing a game of chance, advise them to use their lucky numbers 1, 19, 28, 37, 45, and 54 because they carry the frequency of the luck surrounding you this week.
Using those numbers, incorporating gold into your wardrobe, and most importantly, understanding the timing of these planetary shifts will allow you to navigate the week's frustrations and maximize the incredible blessings waiting for you on the other side.
Absolutely.
But as we conclude our analysis of the astro data, I want to leave you with one final deeper thought to ponder that builds on the charts.
What's that?
When Venus makes you the center of attention by the end of the week, ask yourself, are you attracting people who celebrate your light or people who just want to stand in your warmth?
Wow. Are they celebrating your light or just standing in your warmth? That is the ultimate question for a Leo stepping into their power. Keep that question close to your heart this week as you navigate the chrysalis and step out as royalty. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode on Horoscope TV. We love analyzing the charts to help you navigate your week. If you found this helpful, please make sure to subscribe so that you can get notified when the next episode is available. Stay warm, hold your ground on Wednesday, and enjoy your crown this weekend, Leo. We will see you next time.